A 22-year-old man by name Tyler James Robinson, who hails from Utah in the United States, has been identified and arrested by the authorities as the key suspect in the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, which occurred on the 10th of September 2025. Now, Tyler James Robinson was arrested on Thursday, the 11th of September 2025, after a family member who had seen photos released by the FBI contacted another family friend who then called the police, who then picked up Tyler James Robinson.
We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
Now, Tyler Robinson has been established that he is a third-year student in an electrical apprenticeship program at the Dixie Technical College in Washington County, Utah, and that he briefly attended the Utah State University for one semester in 2021.
Okay.
Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
So it's actually one of the common denominators between himself and Charlie Kirk, the University of Utah, or the Utah State University. Now, investigations reveal the following. First of all, following the shooting, a nationwide manhunt led to Robinson's identification through several pieces of evidence. The first evidence is the digital messages. Robinson's roommate, who has been identified as a transgender, provided investigators with messages from a messaging app in which Tyler James Robinson is alleged to have discussed retrieving and hiding a rifle. Now, the second piece of evidence has to do with the surveillance footage. Videos from Utah Valley University showed Robinson arriving on campus and later running from the scene after the shooting. The third evidence has to do with the engraved bullet casings. Now, unfired bullet casings found in the recovered rifle were engraved with messages including "Hey, fascist, catch," and a reference to an Italian anti-fascist resistance song, O Bella Ciao. I'm sure you know that song. And then another casing was reportedly engraved with, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." And then there's the bit of the confession, where Tyler James Robinson is alleged to have confessed to the shooting by telling his dad after he was confronted with the FBI's photos. So, according to this allegation, the key suspect, Tyler James Robinson, allegedly confessed having executed this shooting on Charlie Kirk to his own father after he was confronted with the FBI's pictures. Again, another allegation is that Tyler James Robinson reportedly said that he would rather unalive himself rather than surrender. But unfortunately, he was eventually taken into custody after a youth pastor, who is also a U.S. Marshals Service officer, was contacted, and he played a key role in that. So, all this begs the question, what was the motive? That's the thing, because in any crime, there's a motive. And this is what it looks like so far. Family members are telling investigators that Tyler James Robinson had become more political in recent years and had expressed disdain for Charlie Kirk's views, stating one time at a family dinner that Charlie Kirk was, quote, full of hate and spreading hate, end of quote. Now, the messages found on the bullet casings are also considered as part of the motivation. And in terms of the charges that Tyler James Robinson could possibly be facing as a result of what he has meted out to Charlie Kirk, Robinson is currently in the Utah jail, and he is facing charges including aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, and the obstruction of justice. And the Utah governor called Spencer Cox, has allegedly stated that he will pursue the death penalty. Yeah. That is where the case is as at now. So the suspect has been picked up. He's been established to be 22 years old. Just a young man, 22 years old. And as it stands now, it seems like he did this. And per the motives, it seems he just didn't like what Charlie Kirk stood for. And I spoke about this in my previous video, that it looks like the tolerance level of people, or some people, to be fair, seems to be dwindling, because you don't necessarily need to agree with everything people say, and people don't also necessarily need to agree with you, particularly when it doesn't have to do with the fact that somebody is harming you or oppressing you on your rights or something. This has to do more with someone's opinion on an issue. So if what his family members are alleged to have said is accurate, where it seems that Tyler James Robinson had developed a disdain for the views of Charlie Kirk because he felt he was spreading hate, and that can just escalate and transcend to a level where he now feels that he needs to take out the guy by ending him, then you begin to ask yourself, where is the world coming to? Some would say this is not the first assassination. In fact, President Trump in himself, some few months ago, had an assassination attempt on his life in the US. So granted, it's there, but it still does not excuse the fact that this is a very, very unfortunate and gruesome act. That is the point I'm trying to make. And it's very important we also extend congratulations to the family, although they are going to go through a difficult time. But I think they need to be congratulated on the fact that they didn't shield him, particularly the father. And this is one of the hallmarks of a good parent, or particularly a good father, because he would ensure that the discipline is not excused. To this point, when his son, who allegedly confessed having done the crime, told him this, he didn't sit on it. He didn't try to shield him or protect him or get him to lie to escape the accountability that should come with what he has done. He held him up to face the law. And for me, I think that is one of the most honorable things his dad could have done for him. Because at the age of 22, Tyler James Robinson is still getting to know himself, and probably what he believes in so much, he may not believe in 3 years or 5 years from now, when his maturity is improving, and he would realize that he was all much ado about nothing at the age of 22. So for him to lose himself, lose his tolerance level, lose his cool, and go to the point of discharging a rifle, allegedly, to end the life of Charlie Kirk and put his family in this state of mourning that will transcend into generations. I believe that the father doing this is the best thing they could have done for him as a family. And the fact that the other members of his family actually also came out to talk about some of his escalated political views on Charlie Kirk's views, I think it helps greatly.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th And in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
More so, I think that I've been saying this, it's important people understand that de-escalation is one of the key things. Everybody gets angry. I don't know anyone on this earth who will say they were not angry ever and they have never been angry. If you're a Christian, I'm sure you know that even the Son of God, Jesus Christ himself, got angry. But then the point is, what do you do when you are angry? Some people take lives when they are angry. Some people destroy things, and when they calm down, they realize that they've done irreparable damage. That is the situation I believe Tyler James Robinson has found himself in. If you didn't like the views of Charlie Kirk, you could have just stopped listening to him. That is all. It's not mandatory. You have to hear Charlie Kirk when he speaks. And the beauty of democracy is that you can agree to disagree. You don't need to off somebody because you don't agree with what he's saying or you don't like what he's saying. As it stands now, Tyler James Robinson is in for something else. If he's found guilty, the death penalty possibly could be waiting for him. And so far so good, authorities are under the impression that he acted alone. We are waiting to see if that view will change. We are waiting to actually even hear from Tyler James Robinson himself, possibly, so that we begin to understand what goes on in the mind of somebody like that. And trust you me, a lot goes on in such minds. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe out there.